back to Global Education Zone, and in this episode, I'm going to be talking about cell referencing. And in order to explain this concept, we are going to be dealing with an example here. And in order to explain this cell referencing, I have some data in my Excel worksheet here. So we have the row A, which contains the name of different students in my class. So I imagine that I'm a teacher and I have 5 students in my class. Then we have their scores. So excuse the fact that these names are actually written in actually begin with a small letter, but this is just an example. Right. So now basically next, what we need to do is we need to make use of Excel formulas to calculate the sum. So all you need to do is you just click the cell where you want the sum to be. So this cell, just double click in the cell you want the sum to be. So now I want the sum to be in this cell B6. So if you don't know the name of the cell, you can also check the name box. So it's also here B6. Now this cell B6, it contains the basically it contains the um that's okay, yeah, it contains the cell where we need our result to be in. So now we want to make use of the sum formula. So all you need to do is you first type equal to. So this call we are dealing with formulas, if you recall. So then you with your opening parenthesis. So type sum. So this sum formula is going to sum okay, rather sum. The sum comes before the opening parenthesis. Then opening parenthesis. Then you need to have the numbers you need to sum. So in this case, we don't have the numbers. All we have is the range. So the first way is basically you can just hover over the first cell that contains the data you want to sum. So and then you start by clicking on that cell, and then you drag it downwards till you get to the last cell you want to sum. So you can see that I want to sum the data in cell B2, B3, B4, and B5. So my range is B2 to B5. Then the next thing is I'll let it go, and then I'll use my closing parenthesis here. So now after that, you can click enter, and then your sum is automatically updated in your cell. Now there's another way of doing it too. Instead of doing that, you can also I'll click on command Z. Okay, control command Z. So there's another way of doing this. This other way is basically you still make use of the equal to sum, and in this case you can also manually type the cell. So I will type it manually. So that's B2. So it doesn't matter whether it's in uppercase or lowercase. B2 plus B3 plus plus B4 plus B5. So now you use the closing parenthesis, and then you click enter. So you can see that it still gives the same result. So now the major thing I'm trying to teach you guys in this video is the idea of referencing. So first of all, let's deal with absolute referencing. So now, for example, if we wanted to if we had a formula here that we wanted to copy, and let's assume we have another row of bonus. So we have some bonus scores, and then we have the bonus of 5 for Nat. We have a bonus of 6 for Ben, or 4 rather, of 7, and a bonus of 9. Now, imagine that actually I want to calculate the bonus. So now, then this is another row for aggregate. Bonus and aggregate. So this aggregate, the formula I'll use here is basically I have a bonus of, okay, let's delete everything in this cell. So I have a bonus of 5. So and I don't want to keep copying these bonus for the rest cell. So I just want to use it for only the first cell. So and this aggregate will be the sum of the bonus and the original score. That will be equals to, I'll type the formula here, equals to the sum of so we can just say type B2 and then just plus, then click C2. So and then use the closing parenthesis and then click enter. So you have the sum, the aggregate. So you will notice that there's a little box here. So let me enlarge this. You can see this little box at the top, at the bottom right corner of the cell D2. So when you drag it down, it actually copies the formula down, and then you don't need to manually type your formulas. So you will see when I hover around it, it changes into a kind of cross. So it changes into this kind of black cross. So all I need to do, I just take it down. But now if I take it down, look at what shows. Now in this case, this what shows here is actually you can see that this here what shows here we are having 56. So you can see that normally I expected it to add the bonus of 5 to all these scores, but the Ben had a score of 56 and then his target is also 56. But I expect his score to actually be the sum of 56 and the bonus. So the reason for this is because there is a relative reference in here. So if you look at this by default there is actually a relative referencing. So this relative referencing is default because most of the time when we type formulas in Excel, we need them to actually adjust based on the relative position of the cells. So let me explain what Excel is doing now. So what Excel is doing here is because it has added B2. It noticed that I added B2 and C2 to get D2. So in this case, it's also adding B3 to C3 in order to get D3. That's the mistake it's making. Whereas I want Excel to add B3 to C2 again. I don't want C2 to change to C3. So in this case, what can resolve that is the use of what is known as absolute referencing. So when I want to use absolute referencing, I need to revise that formula. So I'll go back to D2 here, and then I'll go to the formula bar. So I can just edit the formula directly. So all I need to do is, since I don't want C2 to change, so I can make use of an absolute referencing. So it's done by making use of a dollar sign. So I just insert the dollar sign in front of the C and then a dollar sign in front of the 2. So in this case, I've made this C2 and this C2, I've made it absolute. So, but if I remove the dollar sign from the 2, that would become a mixed referencing. So that's a case where you have both relative and absolute referencing. But let me put it back. So now you can see that these dollar signs, they will make it to be fixed. So even if I go downwards to the other to the downward cells on that same column, the cell C2 will not change to C3. So when I click enter now, you can see that I have 30. Now when I copy this new formula here, you can see that these values will change. So now this is a correction of the formula, and now Ben now has an aggregate of 61, which is what I want. James has an aggregate of 39, which is the sum of the score and the bonus. So this is basically how absolute and relative cell referencing works. I hope you understand this concept, and I hope to see you next episode. Thanks for watching.